Hello dear students, welcome to the course of Database Management System. We are going to learn about transaction management. We are using book Database System Concept 6th edition written by Core, published by McGraw-Hill. Outline of the concept transaction management. We are going to learn that what is a transaction, what are the transaction states, concurrent executions, serializability, recoverability, implementation of isolation and transaction definition in structured query language and testing for serializability. So what is a transaction? A transaction is unit of program execution that accesses and possibly updates various data items. So before going to learn a transaction, let us understand what is a data transfer. Here we have two functions, input function and output function. Capital X is a variable and operating system will perform the role to take the values of X, transfer from memory to disk and disk to memory. Here capital X denote the disk variable. Input X means transfer block where X resides to main store. So from a disk the content will transfer to the random access memory or main memory. Output X means transfer a buffer block on which X resides to disk, replacing old data block. So here output function will transfer the contents of main memory to the disk where X resides. Here X is a disk variable. You can see the diagram that input X means transfer the value of X from disk to main memory buffer, and after some operations, read or write operation, transfer that content back to the X variable to the disk, called as output function. Here programmer or user will write the instructions in the transaction. That one instruction is read. Input is capital X, xi. It means if X is not in main memory, then input X function will perform. It means value of X from the disk will get read and will transfer to the main memory. The content of capital X will transfer to the xi. And if it is available in the main, then it directly transfer to the xi, from X to xi, where X is a disk variable and xi is a main memory variable. Similarly, in case of write operation or write function, we are going to set it as a write operation and read operation. In write operation, we have capital X, xi, where X is a disk variable and small x is main memory variable. In this case, value will get update. After some operations, value will get update. Write means update operation. Update the value at a disk. So the whatever operation is done, that value will be stored into the small xi and will get updated into the disk variable. So if X is not in main store, then input X, otherwise the value will get transferred to the disk. So here the output function is used to depending on buffer management technique. Output X will not perform frequently. So the transaction is a program unit that reads required data item only once and write them, or updated if updated, then write them only once. It maintains database consistency if the read and write operation happens only once. Now this read operation, read A, is equivalent to this read. It means read A, small a1, where read is capital A is a disk variable and small a1 is a main memory variable. It means transfer the content or read the content from disk and store into the main store. Similarly, after deduction of 50 rupees, let us consider the value of A is, let us consider value of A is 100 rupees and value of B is 200 rupees. Here in this case, the value from disk or 100 rupees, the value 100 will be read from the disk and will transfer to the main store. Over there, the 50 rupees will get deducted and the write operation is equivalent to over here. After deduction, 50 rupees will remain. That will be again stored back to the disk variable capital A. That is this data item. Our data item is A, on which read happens only once and write happens only once. Then we have another data item which this instruction is equivalent like this. It means read the value of disk variable capital B, which is 200, and store into the main store variable small b1. Then over there 50 rupees will get added. 50 rupees will get added and the value of B will get updated. that is by the write instruction. So from here the value of B will become 250, which will transfer the disk variable capital B. Now here we have two data items A and data items B. But observe the carefully that read operation happen on data item A only once, write operation happen on data item capital A only once. Similarly, read operation for data item B, write operation data item B is happen only once for data item B. Here onwards we are going to use only the short instructions or abstract instruction like read A, write A, read B, write A. So remember that this read A means data transfer is going on between main store and disk. Write means value of the disk variable will be get updated after write instruction. So this is the example of good transaction, because the read and write operation happens only once on data item A as well as on data item B. If read and write operations happen on same data item more time, then it is called as a bad transaction. Again we have two issues, that failure. If failure occur in between, then what kind of necessary action we have to take, that we have to learn. That is called as a recovery system. That failure, hardware failure, system crashes, concurrent execution of multiple transactions, that we have to learn. The challenges we have to learn, what are the possible solutions for these multiple transactions, that we are going to learn in this topic of transaction. So here once again same example given, that transaction to transfer $50 from account A to account B. So first of all, value of data item will be read from the disk and will transfer to the main memory. Over there, this deduction will happen of 50 rupees and the remaining value will transfer to the disk, will get updated by the write instruction. Similarly, the read operation or instruction will get executed on data item B, and in that data item B, 50 will get added and the value of B will be updated. Now, the required properties of the transaction, very important properties need to maintain. First property is atomicity. So this example is given to understand the properties of the transaction. Let us consider the value of A is 100 rupees and value of B is 200 rupees. Now the 50 rupees will get deducted and value of A will be updated. That is 50 rupees will remain. Similarly, over here, value of B will get rid, it is 200 rupees and value of 50 rupees will get added to the B. That means it will become 250. Now, the situation is that if transaction fails after step 3 and before step 6, after step 6 and before step 6, step 6 says that update the value of B. But before that, if transaction fails, then money will be lost. Money loss will be for data item A. How it is happen? Here, write operation of data item A is already performed, but write operation of data item B is remain. So such situation is not good for the transaction. So failure could be due to hardware or software. The system should ensure that update of partially executed transaction are not reflected in the database. So partially executed transaction changes should not be executed or should not be reflected into the database. It means all transactions or all instructions should execute successfully, or none of the instructions should execute. Either execute successfully or none of them should be executed. And such property is called as a atomicity. That we know that nowadays that banking transactions are going and we are seeing the message that transaction fail or transaction aborted or transaction is successful. So durability means it is a property that denote once a transaction completes successfully, all updates that is carried out on database should be persist even if there is system failure after the transaction complete the execution successfully. So it says that once the user has been notified that transaction has completed and the transfer of $50 has been taken place, that update to the database by transaction must be persist even if there is a hardware or software failure. So another property is consistency. The consistency requirement, that is the sum of A and B should be unchanged by the execution of the transaction. If the transaction will get failed, then after that the values of A and B should be remain unchanged, or if transaction successful, then money should be deducted from A and will be added to the B successfully. That is, in general, consistency requirement include explicitly specified integrity constraints such as primary keys and foreign keys, that is domain constraints. Implicit integrity constraints, sum of balances of all accounts minus sum of loan amounts must be equal value of cash in hand. A transaction when starting to execute must be consistent database. During the transaction execution, the database may be temporarily inconsistent, but at the end of successful of transaction, data should become consistent. When the transaction completes successfully, the database must be consistent. Erroneous transaction logic can be lead to inconsistency. Here we are talking about transaction. It does not mean that we are only transferring money from one account to another account. Transaction in the sense, when we are doing a kind of operation on a database is called as a transaction. That is, we are doing insert operation, we are doing delete operation, we are doing update operation, we are sending query to the database, and we are retrieving data from the database. Such type of operations are called as a transactions. Along with this money transfer, such type of things called as a transactions. So one of the best property is isolation requirement. That is, we want to that system should perform many tasks in less time, or many user can access same data at a time. So system performance will be increased. That means we have to improve the concurrency of system to access the database. We don't want to access a database serially. It will be slow down the performance of the system. That our main challenge is concurrency control and to allow user to access data concurrently. So one of the properties isolation requirement. If two users are accessing same data at a time, at that time, the data should not be consistent. How that challenge is maintained, how the isolation challenge is maintained, that we have to learn in upcoming topics. Let us understand this example. It is without a scheme of maintaining the isolation scheme. Now here, transaction T1 will get started. Assume that value of A is 100 rupees, 100, and money will get deducted. Remaining money will be 50 rupees. Another transaction will come and will read the value of A, it is 50, and it is reading a value of A is, let us consider 200 rupees, and it will initially print that 200 rupees because we have a disk, and on a disk there is a and there is a B. Value of A is 100 rupees on a disk, value of B is 200 rupees on a disk. So far, now A minus 50, and write A means update the value of A. So 100 rupees will be replaced by the 50 rupees, and the value of B is remains same on a disk. Now the T2 will read the value of B, it is 200. So 200 plus 50, it will print the 250 rupees, and after that the 50 rupees will get added to the B and write B, means it is become 250. So the value of B will get changed. Instead of 200, it will become 250. But T2 has printed a value. So in this case, it will print the 250 and data will get updated, and that value of B will become a 250 and value of A will become a 50. But there are some schemes which allowed to update the value on disk after completion of whole transaction. So in that case, here T2 will read 100 because the write operation, the value of A is not updated on a disk yet. So it will read 100 and it will show the result like 300. So this is the steps between 3 and 6. And after that, the step instruction number 6 will get executed. Now actual data on a disk will be 250 and 50, but T2 has printed 300. So it is called as an inconsistent state. So what are this is challenge, that how it is removed with the help of schemes or algorithm that we have to learn. So if we allow to execute the transaction serially, then system performance will be down. The system may allow T1 first, then T2 later, or T2 first, then T1 later. In that case, system performance will be down. However, we want to execute multiple transactions concurrently because it has a significant performance benefits. Throughput will be increased. How that transaction will run concurrently, schemes and algorithm we have to see. The required properties called as ACID property. A stand for atomicity, C stand for consistency, I stand for isolation, and D stand for durability. That we have learned that how problems or challenges arise because of this atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. That properties you need to maintain. So transaction is a unit of program execution that accesses and possibly update various data items to preserve the integrity of data. The database system must be ensure the following properties that we have learned the transaction, what is a good transaction and what is a bad transaction. Good transaction means read data value of data item only once and write value of that data item only once. For different data items, there will be different read and write instructions. And bad transaction means when we are writing more read and more write instruction for same data items, then it is called as a bad transaction. Atomicity means either all operations should be successful or none of them should be executed. Consistency means data should be consistent on a disk. Persist execution of transaction in isolation. Preserve the consistency of database, that if you get message that transaction is successfully, that reflect in your database. Isolation means that although multiple transactions may execute concurrently, but one transaction should not see the data inconsistency. Each transaction must unaware of other concurrently executing transactions. Intermediate transaction results must be hidden from other concurrently executed transactions. So one transaction should not be interleave the execution of another transactions. That is, transaction Ti should not be interleave to the transaction Tj. That is, for every pair of transaction Ti and Tj, it appears to Ti that either Tj should finish execution before Ti started or Tj started execution after Ti finished. Durability means after a transaction completes successfully, the changes it has made to the database persist even if there is system failures. So thank you very much. Next time we will learn the transaction states.